The first is the President and CEO of the National LISC organization, Mr. Michael Rubinger, who flew here from New York to be a part of this event tonight. Michael. Also, I want to welcome on stage our distinguished guest, Ms. Karla Henderson, who is Group Executive in Mayor Dave Bain's office. Welcome to you. And last but not least, the Executive Director of Detroit LISC, Ms. Tahira Ziegler.
He was unable to attend this event, significant event, but I am thrilled and honored to be here in his place. And he presents this proclamation, and I will read what he wrote. Greetings. It gives me great pleasure to congratulate Detroit Local Initiative Support Corporation LISC as you celebrate the 20th year of the opening of the Detroit LISC office in Detroit. This milestone is worthy of celebration, and I am extremely proud the celebration takes place right here in the city of Detroit, where it all began. Over the past 2 decades, Detroit LISC has invested in the development of residential units and provided training and technical assistance to local nonprofit organizations. Detroit LISC continues to be a cornerstone in local community development. I commend this organization for their dedication and tireless efforts to create positive change and transform distressed neighborhoods into healthy, thriving, and sustainable communities. Again, congratulations, and please accept my very best wishes for continued success for years to come. Sincerely, Dave Bain, Mayor.
Thank you, Karla. Please bring back to Mayor Bain our thank you, and on behalf of the local advisory board and all of our partners who have really worked to help us over the past 20 years to redevelop neighborhoods here in Detroit. Thank you.
I guess that means it's my turn. You know, I've been the CEO of LISC, National LISC now for about 13 years. In that time, I've spoken in a lot of venues, but nothing like this. This is really something else. Anyway, it is a great pleasure to join you this evening to take part in this tribute to Detroit LISC, and I want to assure you that it's not just because there's a certain team from New York who's going to be playing in about a half an hour right across the street. That has a little bit to do with it, but it's also about Detroit LISC. Just a few weeks ago, National LISC celebrated our 30th year of doing community development work all across the country. We're all very proud of that, but I want to assure you that we're equally proud of the work that's been done here over the past 20 years. Much like the city itself, Detroit LISC has had its ups and downs during the 20 years that we've been here. But as I look back at the totality of what's been accomplished, I can't help but be very proud. We've invested $140 million in Detroit's neighborhoods in that time, leveraging over $900 million in total development, producing 4,000 affordable homes and apartments, and over 1 million square feet of retail and commercial space. I think those are pretty striking results for any program in any city. There are so many people in this room that I would like to thank for supporting us with their time, energy, and resources over the past 2 decades. It is that local support and leadership that are at the heart of any successful local LISC program. People like Dave Campbell of the McGregor Fund, and Dave Egner, and Gil Hudson of Hudson Weber, all of whom have been longtime funders and have also made significant contributions as past chairs of our local advisory committee. Rick Rapson, who also serves on the National LISC board, and Laura Trudeau from the Kresge Foundation, Carol Doss and Tanya Allen from Skillman, Brenda Price from the Knight Foundation, Sterling Spearman from Kellogg, and of course, Mishta, currently represented on our local committee by Bernie Johnson. All very substantial in the success of Detroit LISC. And of course, this list wouldn't be complete without Nick Curry, our current committee chair from DTE Energy. It is local leaders like these who recognize the value of neighborhood development and neighborhood-based leadership and involvement that make possible what we do and create a sense of hope and possibility for this city, even in the most difficult and challenging times. 4 years ago, as Nick suggested, at the national level, LISC adopted a new program strategy that we call Building Sustainable Communities. This is, as many of you know, LISC's comprehensive approach to community development. And it is, in my estimation at least, arguably the most ambitious undertaking in LISC's history. We did not come to it easily or lightly. It just turns out that life simply doesn't permit the luxury of taking on its many challenges one at a time. You can't expect new or renovated housing to revive a community if that community remains crime-ridden and the schools are failing and there's no place to shop or play. And in the same way, you can't hope to fix the schools if kids return home to dilapidated, unhealthy apartments and are surrounded by blight, unemployment, the temptation of crime and drugs, and a general state of dysfunction. Our belief and our approach is that you need to address all of these challenges in a comprehensive and integrated way. And what's more, you need to address them simultaneously. Since the launch of the Sustainable Community Strategy, Detroit LISC has continued to invest in housing and retail space. But it's also supporting programs like the Greater Detroit Centers for Working Families, a model developed jointly with United Way of Southeastern Michigan to provide an integrated approach to increasing family wealth. We're investing in safety initiatives and healthcare facilities, such as the Family Wellness Center, to create safe, healthy environments for Detroit neighborhoods. And Detroit LISC is also beginning to support after-school and early education programs to ensure neighborhood children will have the quality education they need to become tomorrow's community leaders. Building neighborhoods of choice, places where families willingly choose to live, work, and raise their children, is a complex challenge requiring unprecedented collaboration among CDCs, investors, the philanthropic community, the public sector, and numerous other neighborhood organizations. This is especially true in times like these, when the nation's economic challenges are felt strongly in Detroit. But again, much like the city itself, under the leadership of Mayor Bing, I believe that Detroit LISC, led by our new outstanding executive director, Tahira Ziegler, is clearly on the upswing. We can celebrate our past accomplishments with pride and feel equally strongly that we also have more than ample reason to feel confident about the future. I know I do, and I hope you agree with me. Right now, I'd like to take the opportunity to bring up to the podium a very special person in Detroit LISC's history. We wouldn't be celebrating Detroit LISC's 20th anniversary if a certain individual hadn't drafted the original request to bring LISC to Detroit. Nor would we be here tonight if she hadn't guided the program as its first executive director when it opened its doors in 1990. This outstanding individual has meant so much, not just to LISC, both nationally and locally, but to the entire city of Detroit. And I want to take this opportunity to recognize her and her many achievements. Evelyn Brown, would you please